Hey, you know what we haven't done in a while? An actual honest-to-God theme month. And seeing how today's episode is on Armitage the Third Dual Matrix, it gives us the perfect opportunity to do just that. So, everyone, grab your Monster Energy drinks and put on your comically clashing clothing, because it's Cyberpunk Month! Why was I outside again? The last time we checked up on our old friend Naomi Armitage, it was 4 years ago. So for those of you who need a refresher, Armitage is a sentient gynoid that was created as a third series, hence the name Armitage the Third. Her line's purpose, initially, was to alleviate the declining Mars population by being able to procreate. But she found her own purpose after running into a baker's dozen of Don Claudes and meeting her milquetoast beau, Ross Syllabus. Basically, it's the story of Pinocchio. If Pinocchio went off the beaten path to have tangents about how reproduction is way more than just having the right plumbing. Well, the powers that be saw the success, if you can call it that, of the first OVA series turned hatchet job film, and decided to skip the OVA and make an outright sequel film. And in that sense, the result is a better product. A movie that was written and presented as intended winds up better than just a series of OVA scenes hodgepodge together to create a facsimile of a movie. Who'da thunk? But because there's no edit to place the blame on, there's no hiding the many and obvious stupid faults within the story. And to compound matters, Pioneer no longer had the funds to get Kiefer Sutherland and Elizabeth Berkley back to reprise their roles. So they recast Ross with Henry Douglas Gray, who went on to voice Vicious and Mike Guy. And then they recast Armitage with Juliette Lewis. Not that the film makes a big deal of it or anything. No, not that Juliette Lewis! Not the third Audrey from the Vacation series Juliette Lewis! They must have searched through all the couch cushions in the office to get her! Alright, to be fair, Juliette Lewis is a fine actress, and a deserved Oscar-nominated actress at that. But, also to be fair, she was in Gem and the Hologram, so forgive me if I feel like teeing off on her a bit. And it's not like her performance doesn't deserve it either, as we'll soon enough see. This is Armitage the Third Dual Matrix. We begin with a massive slaughter at a laboratory, which is building Naomi's? Wait, I thought these gynoids were supposed to be indistinguishable from humans, so why are they mass-producing the same model over and over again? Kind of hard to blend in if you got 24 other clones of yourself running around. Also, how in the world did they even get Naomi's designs? The laboratory where she was built was leveled to the ground, and her creator is dead. And how in the hell did Naomi see the slaughter to begin with? Are you telling me that the gunned-down thirds here can communicate with her? How would they know to do that since, Naomi and Ross have been living under assumed identities for these past, 6 years? Considering their daughter's birthday cake has 6 candles on it? 3 minutes. It took me just 3 minutes to completely blow up the premise of this movie. I don't know what's more impressive, me for doing it, or the movie shitting the continuity bed so quickly. While the festivities of their daughter's birthday hang in the air, Naomi is still troubled by what happened to the thirds, which the news misreports as the gynoids going haywire and killing everyone. So to rectify this, Naomi suits up and immediately sets out for Earth, Chicago.
So you were the first man on site during the raid, was that correct?
Yes. I was the very first one in and the very last one out.
You really thought the robots were so dangerous you had to use guns against them?
Aside from myself, the only survivors were 8 of my men and 3 of the plant's personnel. You can rest assured that we did our best.
I mean, come on, look at this face. Would a face like this have any evil intent behind it? A face like Sagat's? Immediately, Naomi hones in on the colonel that took part in the blood oil bath and tracks his car down to an alley, but the whole thing turns out to be an ambush.
I have some business with the colonel. He's in there, right?
Sorry, at the moment the Colonel is enjoying a refreshing drink.
That line sounded cooler in my head! Somehow or another, the colonel's men managed to sneak this walking tower of metal into the car without Naomi noticing. But even he can't stand up to Naomi's German suplex! At least I think it's a German suplex. The shot after she plants him shows her facing him, recovering from the throw, when her back should be towards him instead. Still better than the Bailey to belly, though. Come at me, Marks. While Naomi deals with the colonel and his soldiers, Ross is dealing with Earth terrorists who flunked English. Hey, guys, maybe they didn't respond to your threats because they don't know what an ultimation is, or what Tuophilia Project and Coeus is either. Look, there's only so much leniency you can show the Japanese when it comes to English. They know what a 2 is. They use Arabic numerals just like we do. That's inexcusable. Ross manages to pull a Max Payne and snipe a few terrorists before a dropped grenade finishes the job. However, in a forced bit of politicking, the terrorists that he killed were human, while the remaining ones that are alive and arrested are robots, which apparently is a problem with the Martian media.
Sir, do you use a robot maid? Have you ever had sex with a robot?
All of you, stop! Robots only do what they've been ordered to. The offenders are you!
Is that your opinion, or are you just trying to justify the killing of 3 humans?
Yeah. In the business, we call that a gaffe. And what the hell was up with that trying to justify the killing of 3 humans line? I would think being shot at with assault rifles would be justification enough. In all honesty, this whole subplot of Ross becoming the center of the robot rights political cluster is utterly pointless, only there to give Ross something to do before the inevitable third act climax, and you'll know soon enough what I mean. In the meantime, Naomi has tracked the colonel to his hotel.
What? Kill robots? You meant destroyed, didn't you?
Yeah, you destroyed the humans, too. I'll bet you knew that 18% of the staff were people.
Look, nobody escaped this dub no worse for wear, but Juliette Lewis is just painfully uneven. Some takes, she's fine and passable. Others, she sounds like Rocky looking for Bullwinkle. It's obvious that they had her in the booth at a premium, so the director probably had to rush her through her lines, which means we get more deliveries like this.
You filthy crap! You get your rocks off by murdering, you psycho!
Look, I'm aware that no actor alive could probably sell those lines with any kind of verisimilitude, but Juliette Lewis is unbearable here. But it seems that the colonel is just an arm of this man, who presides over a robotics company of his own, and he's had his eye on Naomi.
But since you made it here to Earth, I would imagine this is old news to you, right? I'm quite sure you knew about it already.
I didn't just know it, I witnessed the whole affair! Now I carry the memories of a third who was built in that plant, and her experiences are in me!
Whoa! Okay, Juliette, you're at about a 9. I think I need you at about a 6. Maybe a 5. Naomi isn't having the president's bullshit, so he has his Ed 209 Kool-Aid man into the room to try and apprehend her. She manages to hack it, though, and sends herself out of the hotel window and into the arms of... him.
I'm Master Repairman, and you, my dear, are a mess. Your main autonomous nerve lines and vital parts are completely severed.
The bosses would do terrible things to me. Terrible things to me if me going back there.
I hate my job sometimes. How in the world is Naomi not freaking out about waking up naked, strapped to a gurney, with this hovering over her face? She's acting like this is Thursday night for her. Actually, considering how boring Ross is, that might just be the case. It is always the quiet ones. Speaking of Ross, he seems to be roped into representing Mars on an Earth Council meeting on robots' rights over in Chicago. But the president catches wind of this and kidnaps his daughter and holds her at ransom for his cooperation in voting against the proposition. He doesn't cast a vote, the bill fails, and this is the last time any of this robots' rights subplot is ever brought up again. All of that baggage just to get Ross and his daughter on Earth with Naomi. You know, say what you will about Deus Ex Machina, at least it didn't mean spending 10 minutes of screen time to set something up with no payoff. Even though the bill is killed, the president is still without Naomi, but he might not need her.
Huh?
Hi there, Demetrio. Do you want my data? Hi there, Demetrio. Do you want my data?
Just who is...
Hi there, Demetrio. Do you want my
Yes.
I think this is the first time I've ever seen somebody click yes on a pop-up ad, and it led to a good thing. Yeah, looks like that maniacal mechanic rooted around Naomi's data and plans to sell it to the president, but even he couldn't locate that last little bit of info that he thinks he needs. Even sicking his Naomi clones on him reveals nothing. Thus we waste yet more time. Now I know this seems like a really dumb thing to do, but if you pay attention, this is actually a brilliant piece of meta-narrative. You see, while the first Armitage III took out a bunch of useless scenes to make a feature-length film, the second Armitage III puts in a bunch of useless scenes to get a feature-length film. Because now, you see, it's like poetry. It rhymes. That means it's good. To the surprise of absolutely no one, Ross is burned by the president, but makes a getaway via a laughably dated CG chase sequence. Seriously, is this the movie or gameplay ripped from F-Zero GX? The chase culminates with an attack helicopter, which begs the question of why they didn't just open with the helicopter. I guarantee if they did, they'd be +2 henchmen.
Shit.
Okay, you just gotta love that toothy grin on Armitage. It's the kind of grin that says, go ahead, put your dick in my mouth again, see what happens.
It's only a model.
God, this is too much fun. I haven't had a chance to make fun of bad special effects like this since Jaws 3D.
Shark still looks fake.
The day Yoko was born, I was overjoyed. The happiest I ever felt in my life.
And I'm normally such a happy and expressive guy. Can't you tell?
Naomi, stop taking on every problem by yourself.
Oh, so her name is pronounced Naomi. You know, pronounced the way that nobody does? Well, after that little pep talk, Rouse and Naomi decide that subtlety is for suckers and go commando in the president's headquarters, guarded by robots with cute little policeman hats. I don't know why they have them, but I do know that even when they're trying to chew up Armitage with machine gun fire, they look so adorable.
If you've harmed a hair on my daughter, I'm going to kill you.
I will be sure to keep that in mind, Ms. Armitage.
Please don't shoot me in the balls. Armitage makes her way through the building playing decoy while Ross sneaks around to rescue their daughter, but he's thwarted by a locked door? That crafty bastard!
Shit!
Ha ha! Now nobody can open that door! Suck on that, jerkface! Wait. In a move so baffling and unbelievably manly, Ross literally pries open the locked door with his bare hands.
Electromagnetic lock installed? Are you serious?
Which, you know, is kind of undone by the fact that he does have a cybernetically enhanced arm, but come on, that's gotta score him at least a few man points. Or at least a date with Cheryl. Meanwhile, Armitage is playing guest with the president, who finally has her in his clutches. For what reason, you may ask? He wants to know how the thirds can conceive life, so that way he can create a utopia of servile women that will give birth to even more servile people, and if you open your mouth right now, I will get you fixed! This uncomfortable plot point was brought up in the first Armitage, if you may recall, so that the sequel bringing it up again is no surprise. However, this whole notion is undermined by the entire beginning. The whole point of the third line was to create a means to shore up a population on Mars, and Doofus here ordered an attack on his own illegal third facility after he couldn't get them to queef out a baby. But the true depths of the stupidity of this story has yet to be reached.
There is a power to create life that exists within every woman, but you don't know where to find it.
What?
Well, it has been a while since 4th grade biology, but if I recall correctly, it's somewhere in this area. You know, that there. You just put your PP in her VV and you get a BB. Actually, considering what we've seen, Armitage isn't exactly your typical gal, so enlighten us. How do women make babies, Naomi?
In her heart! Making children takes more than just a female form.
Okay, do I just need to play the clip of me explaining all of this back in the original review? No, you fucking moron. All that needs to happen for procreation is for a sperm and egg cell to meet. Keep your ignorant douche nozzle comments to yourself. I don't care if this is lazy. The point remains that this is some premium grade bullshit. Not only is it treacly and all kinds of saccharine, it's straight up just wrong. Biologically, morally, and most importantly, narratively. She had to have been making that up because otherwise, what was the point of making the thirds if you can't manufacture them to bear children? When they did manufacture them to bear children! This is so blitheringly stupid that it somehow managed to distract us from all the other dumb, hilarious shit that's happening in the scene. Like the president here, delivering his single line of, "What?" in a way that makes Stone Cold tear up.
What? What? What?
Or just seconds later when the president, for some reason, hurls himself out of frame. Either Armitage grew some invisible hands a la Elf in Lead, or Pres Rickard here propelled himself by his sheer dumbfounded sorrow. At this point, the movie only has about half an hour left to go, but holy crap does it pad the ending out. Prez sicks his Armitage clones after them, and the rest of the movie is nothing but a chase between Armitage and her family and the extras from Starlight Express? Deep cuts! Get your deep cuts here!
Replicas.
Why, yes, all they do is chuckle. And yes, 30 minutes. In a surprisingly touching scene, Armitage meets back up with Ross and her daughter, but her exposed joints frightens her and Armitage quietly comes to grips that her daughter now knows she's not human. Movie, the thought is appreciated, but once you put this guy in a scene, you can't escape from the schlock. Ross and Armitage split up, with Armitage taking on the twins while Ross makes his way to a shuttle that will take them back to Mars. Still, 2-on-1 odds overwhelms Armitage, so she makes a sudden and out-of-nowhere pit stop back to him, where she basically tells him to remove her limiters so she can open the 8th gate. Oh, wait, sorry, Heaven's Gate. Honestly, you could just hit the fast-forward button here on the last act because you're not going to be missing much. Sure, the action scenes are well animated, but the start-stop pacing of the scenes rob it of the necessary flow it so desperately needs. Between these bouts are these long, protracted shots of Ross and Yoko just milling about the curiously empty space terminal trying to get to their shuttle. Trust me, nothing can sap your enthusiasm for a fight scene quite like scene progression like this. I'm gonna hurt you, but I'm here to stop you, but I knocked you out, but I'm back again, but I knocked you out again, but I'm back up again! I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down. Please, stay down. It'll swerve all of us. Trust me. With Pres Rickard's plan fully revealed to the public, he gets desperate and tries to stop their shuttle from leaving. But with one Armitage clone out and the other face rocked with a Heaven's Gate punch, which really should be the name of some kind of Final Fantasy limit break, his back is against the wall, and he finally succumbs to a blade to the chest, courtesy of a Julian-possessed Armitage clone. Oh, fancy seeing you, Julian. You only showed up for a minute back at the beginning of the movie before now. You know, Naomi probably could have used your help 10 times over before now, you little asshole. And that was Dual Matrix. Action schlock that cannot recognize itself as action schlock. Whether it's the uneven dub, the inane story, or the plot holes the size of your grandma's tuna casserole, Dual Matrix certainly isn't short of dumb things to roll your eyes at. It might be a better told story than Polymatrix, but by no means is it an actual better story. In the end, schlock will be schlock, and no amount of messed up gender politics or barely there transhumanistic themes will change that. So, Cyberpunk Month got off to a rocky start, but that's nothing new around here. And speaking of nothing new, I think it's about high time we took another look at Shiro Masamune. Till next time.